Good evening. The part I found the most interesting about this particular chapter is how to implement all the information we get from so many outlets, and we're constantly hearing things, but are we truly listening? And I really like the part about training, how we are trained as possibly employees to take all that information and turn it around and turn it into a successful product or experience. And it made me think of my experience working for Hilton Hotels, um, with our reservation process. When a guest would make a reservation online, they started as an online portfolio, basically. So this is our first interaction with our guest. We know that they're coming to stay us, they've chosen us. What can we do to make their stay the greatest? So we had that information and we could implement that. To their pre-arrival, we could send them confirmation, assure them of any special needs or requirements that they needed to make their stay a success, and we would stay in communication and contact through that before they even arrived. The arrival status phase, is where they actually meet a human and meet somebody at the hotel. So this is where we would implement the human aspect of interaction and listening to the customer. And then it phases into the in-stay process, where we would try to fulfill their needs while they were in-house with us. Anything we could accommodate for them, we'd try to do. And the departure process was pretty important because people, when they're ready to leave, they want to leave. So we wouldn't try to mess or take a lot of time with that departure process. We would definitely ask them how their stay was and if there was anything we could have changed with their stay, or how can we make their stay better next time. And post-stay is the biggest phase, because at this point, this is where Hilton corporate automatically sends out a survey for the customer to take. If they do take it and it comes back with lower than average numbers, someone from the hotel has to contact that person and try to arrange some sort of accommodations or service recovery with that guest. Otherwise, it gets sent to Hilton corporate, which then costs the hotel money, and then usually Hilton corporate would just automatically refund their money or something easy like that. And sometimes usually the hotel could work out a better deal. So the post-stay is a very critical process. That's when we collect data from the guest and see how their stay was. And they could have been lying to our face, but online it's a clear picture. And then a guest profile is then created from their stay. If they're a Hilton Honors member, or in the Hilton On-Q system, there was a profile created for each guest. So really, it kind of encompasses everything we've read about listening, and this kind of went full cycle with the listening process. Whether we were listening face to face with the customer or collecting data on the customer before we even met, and then after we met, it was a whole life cycle of listening, and I never really thought about it in those terms before until I read this chapter. So that was pretty enlightening. So I really enjoyed that. Thanks for listening.